Fly me to the moon. I know, singing is not my best talent. However, welcome back, Cyrils Brettspiele. My name is Nils, and today, Moons, a trick-taking game in a nutshell edition from Quick, Simple Fun and Robert Burke. So let's take a look at the components first. As you expect in a trick-taking game, it's a card game, so this is a card deck. You have 4 different suits in the game. So you have Jupiter, you have Saturn, you have Uranus, and you have Neptune in here. So these are the 4 different planets, but we are talking about the moons of these planets. Each single suit has numbers from 1 to 14. 14 is the highest, 1 is the lowest, and so on, and each number in between. For each of these different suits, you also have tokens, and you try to collect tokens, and you have a scoring reference card for up to 6 players, because it's 6 players. Then you have a starting player, you have a current active player, and you have a no, not me token. That's what's in the game. Oh, I forgot the most important cards, the little asteroid cards. But I come to this in a second. You deal out all these cards to some players. Let's assume we would play with 5 players. In a 5-player game, for an example, each player has 12 cards. Let's take a look at these cards here. These cards. Oh, there's another new card in it. It's a big asteroid. I explain that card in a second. However, again, you have 4 different suits, and in most of these trick-taking games, you want to have at least one suit not, or in this case, I can get down to 2 suits that I don't have. If I'm playing Saturn in here, and if I'm playing also Jupiter in here, I only have Uranus and Neptune here, right? So, as you can see, I have a lot of Neptune, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3 of the Uranus, and I have one of these cards here. I explain that in a second. So the first thing you're doing is you're playing 3 cards face down, and then everybody's revealing that here in the middle. Whoever has the highest number here is the starting players and the leading suits. If you can follow, you always have to follow suit. So let's assume I would play a blue card. They are all color coded. If I'm playing a blue card, everybody has in turn order to follow if they have blue. If not, they can play out of suit. If they are playing out of suit, they wanted to play the lowest number. If they play in suit, they wanted to have the highest number. So with a 14, there is no trump in this game, so this is a safe bet. If I'm playing this card here and leading, all of this trick will definitely go to me. There's no way to get this trick off. At any time, if you have these asteroids cards, even if you could follow suit, you can play this asteroid card instead. And what this card is doing is it gives you another tiny little asteroid cards, which I explain in a second. Otherwise, you are trying simply to follow suits. And as you can imagine right now, to having a lot of 14s or a lot of high numbers from the same suit is always good. Then you can do it. But low numbers are also good. If you are winning a suit, you can take one of these tokens that is matching to one of these in front. If you are the lowest non-suit card, so and 1 is obviously most time the lowest, and there's no tie for it, only the lowest, not a tie for the lowest, you can get a token of this color as well, of the card you discarded. And the goal of the game is to collect most of these tokens. What I also like is the shoot the moon rule. So if you get not a single trick at the in one round, you will get 2 of these tokens. If you have the highest number of tricks, you will get at least 1 additional token. Attention, the shoot the moon rule is a variant. Usually you get only 1 token, but I highly recommend to take the shoot the moon rule. You play that until each player dealt 1 time cards, and then you're getting 2 victory points. For each set of 4 different tokens, you get 10 victory points. For each single asteroid token, you get 1 victory point, and if you have 3 or more, you get 2 VPs per token. However, now let's talk about these cool Asteroids cards, and they are making the game really interesting. They change either scoring here, or this means you cannot be targeted by these cool cards. You have trade cards, and this is one of the coolest thing in the game ever. That means trade one of your cards from your hand with one of the player's cards in the tableau. So if I already have a lot of blue cards and see he has another blue 13 for an example, he really wanted to get first, and I have the 14, the 10, the 7 and the 2, and with this card I can trade my 7 or even a card that I don't want out of suit and take it from my hand and give it to him. These cards are breaking the rules, and it's so nice, it's so smooth. And he's getting that in front of him. And keep in mind, these cards in front of means what I can take for tokens. Really cool cards. But enough of the rules, skip all of that, it's not a rule school video here. Let's go to my personal experiences, as always, in a nutshell. You know, trick-taking games. I really like trick-taking games with just cards and simple and easy. And my favorite trick-taking game is a German trick-taking game. It's called Doppelkopf with hidden identities. So you have 12 cards, you have 12 rounds, and 2 cards, you have 2 decks. So 2 cards playing together, 2 players playing together. I really like this hidden identity thing. That is the best trick-taking game in my life ever. And it's a basic game, so you only have standard cards. However, let's go back to Moons. So, and therefore it's a high barrier for a trick-taking game always to get good. And the last one I played, actually I'm not a huge fan. They always have this issue, same with the original one I mentioned earlier, that some cards are really not helpful. In theory, in this game, usually cards between 5 and 9 are not really good. You cannot get a trick with it, but you always have not the lowest one, so these cards are useless. And if you have 9 useless cards out of 12, you know exactly this is not my round. That's my issue with trick-taking games. When you get your cards, you know, oh, this is a really good round, or that's a really bad round. So there's not a lot skill for me in a trick-taking game. But the theme on this, and how you get rid of the cards you don't want, and also this big Asteroids card, all of that making that game so much fun and breaking the normal rules of a trick-taking game in a really neat way. And even if the theme feels a little bit like on top, it's still, at least this game has a thematical background. For a trick-taking game, that's very unique. Usually you have simply cards. I mean, there are sometimes Asian cards or European cards or American cards, but it's still cards. This one has a theme. So overall, I have to say, I really enjoyed Moons, and all of my players as well. We laughed a lot when we played Moons, simply because it's not an ordinary another trick-taking game that feels like, oh gosh, do we really need another one? No, this is a really good one. Not a team-building trick-taking game. There are a couple of team ones. This is a solitary, very competitive trick-taking game with a little bit of a theme that has also a cool mechanic of breaking the rules. What can I say more about a trick-taking game? Should I tell a little bit of a story when I played that the first time or not? No, you know, come on. Okay, I played this game first with strangers at Origins, and that is probably one of the things that I really enjoyed. You can play this game with strangers. And the couple I have never seen before and never after, so I cannot really judge on them. It was 2 people, a couple obviously, and they played with us Moons. I thought, well, okay, usually playing a game with strangers for the first time, you never know the rules, they never had read the rules, and we had a teacher from Quick Simple Fun, however, is a little bit of rocky. Sometimes they have to ask and things like that. Origins are not hardcore gamers usually, so you don't know exactly if they are good or not. But you can pick up, and we picked up Moons so fast that we all had a lot of fun. And I have to say, wow. It was a good group feeling after the first 5 cards. one of the two said up front, oh, what is a trick-taking game? And you know exactly when you deal out cards and you hear, oh, what is a trick-taking? What is following suit? You say, oh, that could be a long evening. But no, this game forces you into trick-taking games immediately. You have only 4 different suits. That's easy. So, yeah. I have to say, my first experience with Moons was good, my second was good, my third one was good, and all of the following were always good. If you wanted to play a trick-taking game and you don't have one on hand, or you want one, a new one with a little bit of a theme, you can definitely pick up Moons right away. This is Nils, Cyrils Brettspiele, in a nutshell edition, and you see me next time. Fly me to the moon. Bye.